Trigger warning! Chronic illness, depression, anxiety, suicide, drugs, cancer, stroke, autoimmune disease, hyperflexibility, blood, calories, psychiatric disorders, and the Daily Telegraph. Are you okay drinking your water there?
Yep.
You bottle waster?
My bottle waste, yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Lara.
I'm James.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
Still.
You can't think of anything funnier?
No.
JJ. This is JJ. We're the disabled Goths, and today we're going to talk to you about
Pain.
pain! Ah!
You're right, dear.
I am in a bit of pain. It's been, my painkillers are wearing off, so
Yeah.
I am a little bit uncomfortable.
So if we'd done this last week on the day that you first proposed we should do it, that would have been great, because I was in dreadful pain that particular day with my hip. So it would have been the perfect day in which to do it. But
my knees have been assholes recently, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Not literally, I hope.
Well, if I would be pooping out of my knees, then
I would be seeing a doctor at that. That's not a good way to be.
No.
Yeah.
So, pain. Okay, we're going to talk to you about different types of pain. The most common type of pain people experience is injury.
Yes.
Injury pain. We don't suffer from injury pain. Okay, I got my tattoo inked yesterday and it looks fantastic. Didn't hurt at the time, but now it's a bit tender.
But that's different from...
this I can handle.
Yeah, that you can handle.
Like, this is easily handled. But the pain we're talking about is chronic pain and the fatigue that sets in with it. I actually made a really, really neat, if I can get up, chart on pain, and this brainstorm I told James to do and I don't think he did, so I'm winging it from mine. And this chart basically has all my problems and the discomforts I feel. Like, we've got easy bruising. I bruise really easily.
Yeah, same here.
Drug side effects are nausea and reflux from taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. They rip your stomach up, and I'm surprised Celebrex is still on the market. That's the one I'm on. There's your lethargy. I have excellent biochemistry. My last biochemistry came back like tip top. And what about yours? Yours is probably crap as well.
Mine's pretty crap. My biochemistry is pretty ordinary, so...
Yeah. But despite having good B12 levels and decent iron levels for like the first time in a million years...
Well, not that long, surely.
Okay, maybe 1,000 years.
That's more like it.
Yeah. And the referred pain from when you touch certain areas, and painkillers not actually doing their job, just making you high. Muscle spasms and tightness, we can relate to that. Muscle spasms, really bad. So you had a muscle spasm in your hip?
Yeah, it was not quite a muscle spasm, so it was kind of like really driving pain.
Sounds more like nerve pain.
Yeah, where I do get muscle spasms sometimes is in this arm when I'm in bed, because if I turn over in a certain way, I have a thing called clonus, which I get in the legs sometimes. It's an after effect of the stroke. It's basically kind of muscular feedback, so if you press the foot down a certain way, the impact of the foot travels back up through the lower leg, hits the knee, back down, back up, and the leg just sort of shakes.
And oscillates. I got tested for myoclonus.
Yeah, I can kind of trigger it. You can't actually see me doing it on camera, unfortunately, but I can trigger it under certain circumstances. I can't trigger it with the arm, except when I'm in bed, and it just sort of, when I roll over under a certain position, it just starts going nuts.
Yeah,
basically.
I've had that before. I tend to get shakes.
It's not really a lot of fun.
I get shakes as well, because I had to have an MRI to get that checked out. Nothing came back from that. So I was ruled out from having a neurological disorder, like MS, because muscle spasms are very common in MS because of the inflammation of nerve linings. And I know, I've had my thighs actually, like, the quads actually... the quads are on the front.
Oh, I've got no idea.
Alright. The thigh muscle, I felt it actually, it felt like it was oscillating and I wasn't doing it. Like, sometimes I get the shakes and I'm like, yeah, I know I'm shaking, and I do it subconsciously and I'm just shaking. But sometimes I actually feel the muscle just go...
Convulsing?
Yeah, convulsing, yeah. That's pretty much it.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh, here's one we both suffer from. Exhaustion from basic tasks. Okay, this is where the spoon theory comes in. For those who don't know, the spoon theory was written by this girl. I'll put a link below. She has lupus. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. But basically, all her energy units for the day cost spoons. So every time she does something like wake up and get out of bed and go to the bathroom, that's a spoon. Have a shower, that's a spoon. Make breakfast, that's a spoon. Commute to work. Commuting is what kills me.
Yeah, the commuting is what's hard for me as well, especially going sort of over longer distances. This is why I can't really do buses anymore because
make you nauseous.
Yeah, exactly. So even when I was traveling, the last time I was traveling long distances on a bus, I was with my mum, so I had someone with me to talk to and distract me and all of that. But when this is just going, say, from Matraville to Randwick on the 317, it was about a half-hour ride over a lot of...
bus is so
it's horrendous.
Long
it's
annoying.
Long, it's annoying, it goes over a million bumps and around some really tight corners, and yeah, I was ready to be sick by the time I got off it. So
Did you ever ring that cabbie I gave you the number for?
Which one?
We're not going to name names. I gave you the number of a cabbie, the local cabbie. His mum lives a street over from me. Great guy. Oh no, Lebanese. Lebanese guy.
Oh, I can't remember, but anyway, that's beside the point.
That is beside the point.
That's beside the point. Well,
he's cool. He's cool.
Whoever he is.
Yeah, no naming names except Toast. Toast gets mentioned.
Hi, Toast.
Hello, Toasty. Fellow disabled goth. Anyway, yes. So commuting. Ever since it cost me a fuck ton of money to get a license, so I had to be a real tight ass for a while, but in the end, getting it has been just
liberating.
Yeah, it was a liberation for me, and it was a liberation for you because I take you shopping, except today because you didn't ask me. All right, do you get tension headaches?
Sometimes I do.
It's this muscle back here that
it's
pulls,
usually about there.
It creates this enormous pressure in your ears, and it's really bad. And also, it comes from this muscle here, and this particular joint called the TMJ, which is the transmandibular joint. And because I've got it chronically inflamed and it cracks, I can't get it to crack. I cracked it before, but it grinds. I can hear it in my left ear.
Yeah, so these things never work when you actually need to do them on camera.
No, there we go. There's your crack for today. That one, the TMJ is apparently I sprained my jaw. That's what my dad's doctor told me. Hello. It's been
you sprained your jaw.
It's been 6 years and it's still the same. I have trouble eating steak. I can't chew things.
Good.
No.
That's not good at all.
But yeah, that one's fun. I don't think you have this issue, but I'm hypermobile.
No, I don't have that issue at all. Explain what hypermobility is.
It's when you move too well. Now, it's not a matter
I definitely don't suffer from that.
Well, a physiotherapist told me that I am hypermobile, and it means my joints move too well. And hypermobility, especially in Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I am currently trying to get my doctor to do tests for, that particular disorder pretty much destroys your joints, and you're predisposed to like premature osteoarthritis. We're talking, osteo normally doesn't set in until like you're over 55, mid-60s. We're talking it settles in your mid-30s and 40s. And it's bad. And your joints just dislocate from little movements. I sometimes feel like my knees dislocate when I walk, and it has caused a lot of pain in the last few weeks. They're a bit better now. I don't know what happened, but I think maybe the warmer, drier weather has helped.
Yeah, that's a crucial consideration at the moment, because we have actually had a comparative heat wave.
Yes.
In recent weeks. I mean, using the word heat wave as they officially do to designate a long run of temperatures above the average. I mean, normally the May average is about, what, 20-something, and quite a few days was getting into the higher 20s, so...
Which was alright. cry if it was dry.
Yeah.
But when it's wet?
Yeah, when it's wet. And because now we've been getting
air
a
pressure
bit more colder weather as well. I'm kind of feeling the effects of that.
Oh yeah, last night I was in agony. It was so cold. My hands were just like ice blocks, and I got Raynaud's. My hands changed colour.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good
and they
at
get
all.
stiff as anything. Now they're warm, I can move them easily.
Yeah,
this is called hypermobility, and I can bend quite backwards. This is not as flexible as some people can get, but I can. No. I'm doing my middle finger. I can actually almost touch my toes when I bend over with my legs straight. So that definitely says something that I move a bit too well. And I'm also prone to slipping discs. I haven't had one of those yet, but I'm just waiting for the day one of my discs in my back
it's gonna go.
Well, yeah. And so you're kind of lucky in that respect that you don't have those super mobile, too hypermobile joints.
Yeah, I just wish some of mine were a little bit more mobile than they are.
Yeah, so you're more prone to stiffness.
Yeah, especially in the mornings. Just getting up out of bed, this knee especially.
I can roll into a ball.
You can indeed. That's actually a really bad idea for me to do that, so I won't join you. Because if I draw this leg up at all, for any length of time, especially when I'm in bed, sometimes the body just does it when I'm asleep. So I wake up and when I get out of bed, this leg is
dead.
Is not dead as such, but it's actually hell to straighten out and then to get up and walk on. So
yeah, it's like when my limbs fall asleep. I'm prone to that as well because I get trapped nerves a lot and carpal tunnel. Well, speaking of which, this position is extremely uncomfortable for me. And another thing there's no such thing as a comfortable position. Once you get into a comfortable position, something decides to make you
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Especially because I like sitting with the legs up like this. And this is a bad idea. This is how I have...
That's how I get paresthesia in both
Yeah, this is traditionally how I have always liked sitting, even long before the stroke happened. After the stroke happened, it became a lot harder to sit like this, but I still insist upon doing it because I'm an idiot. And this is actually how I'm comfortable for a little while. And
I can only sit in that position for like a minute before I need to change.
Yeah, it doesn't take me long to... start to feel that I should be moving.
Do you toss and turn at night?
Quite a lot, yeah.
I do too. We are chronic
we are tossers. We are tossers.
We're tossers. Alright, so speaking of uncomfortableness.
Yeah, uncomfortableness is good.
Yeah, he'd correct my English when I fuck up.
I don't know if uncomfortableness is an actual word though.
Yeah,
it'll do for now.
I'll get to the other point there.
It'll do for now.
Hypersensitive areas. Some areas I feel nothing. Like this part of my shin, I actually feel almost nothing. But other areas, like my upper arms, you touch me lightly, like with a feather, I'll scream. I've been like if you squeeze me too tight when you hug me, I will complain. And down my ribs, oh, that's the worst spot. I tell any massage therapist, do not touch my ribs.
See, I kind of have the opposite to you in that I generally don't feel my body, which is
a bit worrisome.
A little bit worrisome in many respects, but when there's something wrong with it, I can kind of tell, but I don't know if saying that I can't really feel my body is the way to describe it. I can't really think of a better way to actually put it. I don't have a lot of...
motor control.
Not that.
Sensory control?
Maybe that, I don't know. But I can kind of... Obviously if I hit myself in the shin like that, I feel that. But normally if there's nothing sort of acutely wrong, I don't really sort of feel it. I don't have a great deal of... sensation's not really the right word, but I don't know how else to
sensory.
Put it. Yeah.
I see you also have a motor problem now after the stroke.
Yes.
Yeah, I could say I have a motor issue too, because sometimes I get so fatigued that my body just becomes limp. It's like It's like a form of narcolepsy, but it's not, because my brain doesn't fall asleep. My body just does. And I just feel really weak, and I go, ugh. I just like fall.
Yes, collapse. Yeah, sometimes.
And I've got no muscle tone. I lose all muscle tone and control.
Yes, I don't quite get that. I do tend to sort of, many afternoons I will find I have to sort of just crash it on the couch for a few minutes to not do anything. I'm not actually having a nap or anything. I'm just sort of lying there not doing anything before I can get back up and do anything.
I can't move. And I've been in those situations, especially if I get one of those sensory overloads. So loud noises, lots of flashing lights, I can get very fatigued from that.
Yeah, because that's
pretty much what happened the other night.
Yeah, because that's what happens with you get fatigued because the brain has to sort of try and take in an awful lot of information. And it happens
a lot in ASD people.
Yeah, the mental fatigue I find still manifests. And that was one of the worst parts of having the stroke and having to get over it, was the mental effort even more than the physical effort. Because it's not just a matter of, say, lifting the arm up and...
I'm not going to show you what brand of cola I'm drinking.
Doing that with it. But it's just, willing the arm to move. Getting whatever part of the brain has to make up the slack.
How about brain fog?
Yeah.
AKA cognitive dysfunction.
I don't suffer from that too much, I don't think. That tends to manifest more as I just sort of go out of focus. I can't sort of concentrate on things as much.
I'm caffeinating because my brain is a bit slow.
Is a bit
despite me being highly intelligent, sometimes my brain doesn't work properly. It's like a computer with shitty RAM. It's like it's got the processor's working normal, but the RAM is just not loading anything into the buffer. So I say and a lot, and then I mix up words, Freudian slips. This is why I'd never really be good on TV.
It would be entertaining though, Freudian slips on TV. You could say something completely wildly inappropriate.
I've done that.
Yeah,
and then I've lost like words. I'm like uncomfortableness.
Yeah, uncomfortableness, exactly. That's
discomfort. There we go.
Discomfort.
That's the word. Ding.
Ding.
No, that's the word.
You have to get it eventually.
See what I mean? Brain fog. And caffeine is bad. Okay, it keeps me awake. If I have caffeine in the morning, I'll be alright. If I have caffeine after 4 p.m, which it's now...
Yes, it's now after 4 p.m.
I will
just
not sleep.
After 4 p.m.
I will not sleep.
Yeah.
And if I try to counteract them with sleeping pills... Okay, I can get off a caffeine high with sleeping pills, but I can't get off a sleeping pill high, drowsy with caffeine. And that was demonstrated last week. I stupidly took a second sleeping pill, went to bed, I didn't sleep enough, and I felt groggy as hell. I had 2 energy drinks, 2 standard energy drinks, a cup of tea, and then a soda that was full of...
Caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah. I call it a soft drink.
And it still didn't work for you?
No, because I went to this club, and 20 minutes later I had to leave because I was so tired and I was scared driving home.
Yeah, I was actually, because I remember you posted something on Facebook earlier in that day, I was surprised that you went out at all.
Yeah, getting the makeup on was the hard part. Yeah, there were 2 spoons gone from that. And I still got home and I still slept all night. After super loading on that caffeine. But yeah, caffeine doesn't do anything good for my anxiety disorder.
Yeah, caffeine doesn't bother me too much, I don't think, but I'm not really sort of taking a lot of it in.
You don't drink coffee.
No.
It's not very good that you do actually take in caffeine because you do have hypertension.
It's not really with me, but...
I'm the opposite, I'm hypo.
Yeah, but see, I kind of insist upon drinking tea, so...
We need to get you on Herbal to Science. Talk to Brendan.
Right.
Oops, we just name dropped. Hi, Brendan!
Hi, Brendan!
We love you.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Hello, Lady Grey. We call him Lady Grey.
Power shy.
Yeah, and then you end up having that poor sleep and you just feel unrested when you wake up.
Yeah, and I get enough bad sleep as it is, so...
Sleep is something that you do to recharge your body. And usually you need...
Supposedly.
You need about...
It's what other people do to recharge their bodies.
Sleep is what we do just to function at an appropriate level for our diseases. Until you actually have fatigue and chronic pain you can't judge what we have to go through. You can't tell us to go to the doctor. It's not like we're not already seeing 3 different doctors.
We're already seeing people. So it's sort of, oh, you're going to the doctor.
And especially when it comes down to the government pushing you. And I wanted to stay away from government topics, but the last video we talked about Centrelink. Do we get anything out of staying in bed all day? No. Exercise is not really an option. No. It's difficult. Just getting up and out, and like I do a lot for the household. I cook. Because I have to eat, and I have to cook for my parents, and I even have to cook for my dog this month because my dad's not here to cook for him.
So you have to do all that work.
I have to do all that work. Preparing it. It's just like chop vegetables in the pot, leave it. So slow cooking meals is like ideal for me because I can just go sit and...
Yeah, that's the thing, you just sort of crash afterwards because you have to,
I would say I'd never survive in a kitchen or retail for work because being on my feet all day is enough to render me useless for about a week. And like even going shopping, I mean, we're our own support system. So yes, we go out, but do we actually like go out? We do go out, but do we actually enjoy ourselves like other people? We don't drink, we don't dance much. I might dance for 2 songs and then be like...
Yeah, so, because one of the issues, of course, with the walking stick is it makes dancing...
difficult.
But at the same time, in some ways, it has also made it a bit easier for me because I've got something to balance on if I'm on the dance floor.
And you seldom drink, and I don't drink at all.
I almost never drink alcohol now, which is the thing I miss the most. But,
well, see, we're not doing drugs. We're not...
Yeah.
Like, sometimes...
Just prescription ones.
Well, yeah, and sometimes the occasional joint, but the joint sometimes actually really helps much more than Panadine does. And, yeah, I'm pro medical marijuana. And I would really like to get on that stuff because the stuff it can do for autoimmune diseases... Just the studies that are coming up now are just amazing.
Well, I only sort of passively smoke pot, so when I'm around someone else doing it,
I don't have any in my possession. Neither does James.
Neither do I.
We don't have any in our possession.
Nothing.
We're not naming names.
No, we're not. But I will just say that when I am around someone who is smoking stuff, I do notice the difference in his hand later on because. It's not as tight. It's looser. It's not as stiff and sore.
Muscle spasticity, it's excellent for muscle spasticity. There's this, medical marijuana is actually excellent for MS patients because it is a muscle relaxant, it is an analgesic, and it also apparently has anti-inflammatory properties as well. So, like, I mean, that sort of thing would be ideal for an autoimmune disease. Treatment for an autoimmune disease, if not synthesized, but in its natural state. Or just cannabidiol, which is the active component in marijuana and cannabis, well, whatever you want to call it, that actually has that sort of effect on the body. The THC has analgesic effects, but it makes you head high, and it makes you really slow and like.
I think with
giggly. That's why high people are like that. But
I think with medical marijuana, it's sort of designed to have the THC removed, isn't it?
It is. So, they're bred especially to have low THC and high cannabidiol, and that cannabidiol is the key cannabinoid that in it, and I think it's found in higher concentrations in indica strain rather than sativa strain. So there are some drugs on the market that contain cannabidiol, synthesized mind you, that are just helping people. They're not getting people high. It's not a recreational thing. It's just actually relaxing the entire body.
You'd actually use it for its intended medicinal purpose.
And that's why cancer patients get it and we can't. We're in equally, if not more pain on a constant basis than someone who has cancer for 2 years of their life and maybe gets out of it after 2 years, or in some a lot of sad cases, terminal illness. You can't compare chronic disease and chronic illnesses to cancer. Cancer is a short-term thing.
Yeah.
And unless you survive it and kill it all off, there's a good chance it will come back. But think about it. How many years do you suffer with that versus how many years you suffer with a chronic disease? I've suffered with lupus pretty much since I started puberty, which was about 12, 13. And I didn't even know it. My symptoms didn't really start showing up properly until I was 14, and then they went into remission, and they came back with a vengeance when I was about 20. And I've been dealing with it since then. For 6 years, I've been pretty much thrown on my ass because of this disease. And the pain that follows.
For me, I was found out with hypertension back in 1998, so I've kind of had that ever since then as well. All the medication, all the complications of that, particularly the fatigue. I've never been a repository of a vast reservoir of energy at any point. But yeah, it's one of those things that's been kind of ongoing, and
it just keeps going. It just lingers, and
and the stroke kind of made it worse.
It's highly annoying, and you can't compare it to anything. You can't compare it to injury. It's non-comparable to injury, because injury, when you get injured, your body produces an adrenaline which suppresses pain. But that's why caffeine sometimes helps. It actually enhances the analgesic effects of painkillers. But when you're stuck on opioids all the time and you build up a tolerance, they stop working. You have to take more, and then you end up thinking, oh, it's like and sometimes I have to pop a benzodiazepine because I'm just so anxious. Because what happens in your body affects your mind as well. Your mind just goes to absolute shit. You get depressed. You get existential. Like, I'm always existential.
I'm usually existential about 2 a.m, which is really convenient.
Oh, always late at night. The late night existentialism.
Always late night existentialism. But of course, it's
Nietzsche. We become like Nietzsche.
Yeah, but it's not just, of course, what happens in the body affecting the mind. It's what happens in the mind also affecting the body in return.
Yeah, I think it's more physically affecting my mental state.
Yeah.
It's always been like that, but what can you do about it? You can see as many doctors as you want. But hey, who's going to believe us? Yeah, who's going to believe us? We're young, we look healthy, but we're not. We look like every other person. I just look like a fat, overweight piece of shit.
No, I just look like a guy in a Black Sabbath t-shirt.
I'm wearing Worf. I look like a fat Star Trek fangirl. But in fact, my weight gain was because of drugs. I took Lyrica, which made me gain weight so fast and so quick and so stubbornly. It took me about 6 to 8 weeks of pushing myself in exercise, which in turn made me feel a lot worse, to lose 5 kilos of the 10 I gained. I am fortunate to announce that for the past 8 months, I have been the same weight. So that means my metabolism's working.
Something's working.
But then again, I am pretty much in a caloric deficit anyway, because I don't eat much anymore. So let's hope that Prozac stops me from eating and makes me lose a bit of weight. It's actually doing really well. It's made me feel normal again. Normal as in, I get depressed every other day, but I'm like, I'm chirpy. I'm chirpy.
You're okay for in between days.
Yeah, in between days. I can't say today is not painful. It's kind of painful.
Yeah, and come 2 a.m, I will probably still be pondering the meaning of my own existence tonight.
Yeah, I bet. I think I'm calculating about 2 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to want to kill myself again.
Yeah, I kind of don't get much respite from that, unfortunately.
And you know what's sad? I've got enough drugs to actually kill myself, but I've got control to not do it. But come the right time when it's really bad, it could be in consideration. And I'm open to talk about it. I've been suicidal a lot of times, and yeah, just a quick call to Lifeline has saved my ass on a few occasions, and even going to the doctor has saved my ass. Just getting it out in the open. I have clinical depression, and borderline personality disorder in tune with well, my depression is actually a type that goes with borderline personality disorder, which apparently is a mood disorder, not a personality disorder, because I'm not bipolar, but I've got pretty bad depression at times, I could say, yeah, it does affect me in such a way, but it's just it's just a positive feedback loop. When the depression hits, my body feels bad, but when my body feels bad, it makes my depression worse, and it just keeps repeating it. It's like climate change.
Yeah,
the positive carbon cycle.
As I was saying, the body affects the mind, and then the mind affects the body right back.
And exercise is counterproductive in that sort of sense, because it does actually weaken my body in the end, and it makes me feel worse than I have. And like even sometimes sitting on my ass is gonna affect me in that sort of sense, and it's not fun, and I don't think anyone finds it fun, anyone with depression or any chronic illness. And depression is a chronic illness in itself, as it affects the body and makes you just feel like you've lost everything. I think I lost my life several years ago. I'm just existing.
Same here.
I don't think my existence is
productive.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm not contributing to society. But hopefully this video lets people understand what we go through and why we are the disabled Goths.
And obviously other people out there in a similar position to us there. Yes, these people have some idea of what I'm talking about. You're not actually, alone. No
one's alone.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of online support groups for young people with chronic illnesses. Just check out some of the groups on Facebook. It's Too Young to Feel This Old. I don't know. There are a lot of pages for autoimmune diseases, so find a page that relates to your condition, and you'll find support and other people to talk to. It's amazing how many people I actually found out had lupus. I know like 6 people in like my circle with lupus. I can't think of all of them, but that's a brain fog.
But amazing how, according to Dr. House, it's never lupus.
Yeah. I'd have hated to have him as my doctor. I think my dad's doctor's just as bad.
Just as bad.
But no, he doesn't prescribe benzodiazepines or opioids, except to my dad.
Steal some.
He doesn't actually keep it in his office. You got to steal it from a chemist shop.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not robbing my chemist. I don't do that sort of thing. I think that's
yes, I don't seriously behavior. Endorse theft.
No, theft is for desperate people or stupid people.
And we're not quite that desperate or that stupid. Not yet.
No.
Well,
I think that's it for our depressing.
I think we've
gone over half an hour. We wanted to do 20 minutes.
But your little chart was. When I was looking, I thought, oh my god, this. It really says everything. There's an awful lot of ground covered in it.
I will scan and post this on. I'll post it somewhere, so you can have a look at it. Probably on Imgur, or Imager as I like to call it, because it looks more like Imager, not Imgur. But yeah, so this is basically the go-to, and this is what I feel on a day-to-day basis, hour-to-hour basis. So what can we do about it?
Not an awful lot.
No, we are in treatment. We are in treatment. I'm completely in treatment. I don't need any more people telling me to go see a doctor.
You've seen enough as it is.
I see plenty, and I waste my money seeing some of them.
And of course, I'll be taking even more money if the co-payment comes through.
Let's not talk about politics.
But let's not talk about politics. I think we've talked enough about that in previous videos.
Thanks for calling me a slacker. Thanks, Daily Telegraph.
Thanks, Daily Telegraph.
We're DSP slackers.
We are indeed.
Yeah, I'm Lara.
I'm James.
And we're Disabled Goths.
We are.
Bye!